Hello and welcome to Create Today with Lisa Scalloped. That's me. Today we're going to make this vintage collage style card using the Abigail Rose Suite. We will use some dies, the scallop from Color and Contour, the accent piece, the outline die, as well as the greenery stamp and die for the back of our card. We will use the double oval punch because ovals and scallops just seem like they are requirements on vintage cards. And our sweet sentiment comes from the same stamp set as the blossom. Okay, we need a card base here, just using a half sheet of cardstock. I have it landscape oriented, folded at the top. Here are some bits and pieces we'll need today. First, we need to start adding our beautiful floral papers. So I start with this background piece, and right away I forgot to sponge my background piece. So if you are making this card, you will definitely want to ink the edges with some crumb cake ink. And you can see I did that on the other card, which by the way is also crooked, so I had to go back and fix that one. Oh well, it's stamping, right? Okay, I'm going to highlight my doily here a little bit. This is just a generic doily that you probably have already in your craft room. So I'm just taking my blending brush and adding some pink ink so that it stands out a little bit on the card. I was checking to see if I needed to ink all the way around, and I just went ahead and did that. With my luck, one little sliver that I did not ink would stick out on my card, so I just inked it all. And inking's fun anyway, right? So as I'm adding this to my card, I'm placing it so that it touches the top and the left edges of the card. So I've got this all the way to the top and all the way to the left. And then I will do the same thing with this accent piece. Look how sweet this is. Okay, so you see I'm placing that also to the top and to the left. Okay, and I just add a little bit of seal there, and that holds it down, and I'm going to place another piece of paper on top of that so that will all be secure. Now I'm looking for my sponge, which again is right in front of me. I pull my crumb cake ink. I am inking everything with crumb cake with the exception of the doily, which I have inked in the pink. So let me go ahead quickly around this. Get my edges fancy here. I can't believe I forgot to do the background piece, the big piece of DSP. Completely forgot. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm deciding how much of my doily I want to show. So you see I've got a little bit peeking out through the bottom. You're going to place yours however it works on your card. You may have doily peeking out the bottom or not. Okay, scallop. This is from the Color and Contour dies. But we definitely needed scallops on this vintage card, so I pulled that. I am inking that as well. Attaching that piece to my card. Lots of die cutting for this card, which is funny. It's vintage, but we wouldn't have had the die cuts then, but we would have cut everything by hand, I guess. Okay, this beautiful natural ribbon, it's a little bit long, so I'm just going to fray the edges here a little bit. One side works perfect like this. Look how perfectly that came together. Flip it around. Oh no, we're not going to work. We're going to make a big mess. And so what do? I just pull it all out and cut it off and get along with my card making. Okay, yep, that's gonna work. Yep, just cut it off. One side works, one side doesn't. That's how it goes. Not much you can do about that. I did pull the ribbon flat though. I did not let it curl. So you can pull up that edge piece and scrunch the ribbon, but I did not want to do that. Use the mini stapler just to hold that ribbon together, but I'm going to cover all of that. You will not see the staple. Little touch of wet glue behind there. Make sure that ribbon stays attached to the card. And here I'm making it very difficult to attach this stamp to the block. I don't know why I was doing that. I usually like to have my stamps placed again top and left so that when I stamp I have a little more control over where the image is going. And so I'm just pulling a scrap of the pink striped paper, stripes and florals. And that ledger paper, oh my goodness, that ledger paper in the Abigail Rose Suite. I could have had a whole pack just of ledger paper. All right, this pink piece of paper was it's about 1 inch wide. And it fits pretty well on that lower oval. You see I had a little bit of scrap, I just tossed that. Okay. I usually stamp a few extras, just throw them on my tray so that if I'm making a card later, I don't have to restamp. So I have a little tray of Abigail Rose because I think this summer I'll be making some more cards. I don't know what tells me that. Okay, to put my sentiment embellishment piece here, go ahead and sponge my edges. Okay, the only thing I have popped up on this card is this sentiment. So I attached the pattern paper to the first scallop oval. And now I'm going to add dimensionals between the scallops, and then I will add a second scallop cardstock piece. I think this gives me a little firmer attachment area to my card, especially if you're using glue. It's not always necessary, but on top of the ribbon I wanted to be able to have plenty of attachment room there, and you have a nice little embellishment there. Look at that, and it sits nicely on the card. The top oval is flat. Okay, now I just use seal. You could also use glue. Wet glue would probably be more secure. Alright, I need my blossom. I'm going to pull my Stamparatus for this. So more typically, excuse me, you would stamp first and then die cut. On some stamp sets, I prefer to do the opposite. So I do the reverse die cut first. So the first thing I do is I make a template and then I die cut shapes, and I'll die cut several shapes and put them on my tray. And then I use the template in my Stamparatus, and it's very easy and quick to ink. So you see I just ink these up. I go ahead and do that twice. Make sure I have a crisp image, pull those out, and then if I want to make more, it's super easy. So I just grab another die cut piece that I already have ready to go, add those into my template, stamp again. So if you are doing a lot of stamping, assembly line stamping, you definitely want to reverse die cut first and then stamp. It makes the whole process much quicker. Okay, and then I'll just push this to the side. I closed the, oh, here we go. Okay, I closed the espresso ink and I pulled the crumb cake ink. Thankfully, I remembered to sponge these edges. So I tried to use the white color pencil, watercolor pencil on this blossom. I tried white craft ink. Nothing made me happy, so I just sponged the edges and got on with my card making. Okay, so right here I'm trying to keep this blossom straight, so I'm trying to figure out placement, and I generally am trying to keep the center of the blossom straight up in the air and not wonky. So I decided on a location, and then I decided to go ahead and do the reverse of the card just because I had some of this extra paper. So I just added a little more of that pretty pattern, floral pattern, and then I added the leaf greenery to the back, and then you would just put your stamp back there and your card is perfect. All right, look at that. How fast was that? Timeless vintage. See you next time.